This is Rogue Mystic Divination with a 3-pile. Pick a card for October 9th, 2024. Happy Wednesday if you're seeing this on Wednesday, but otherwise, whenever you find it, it'll be for you. Pick whatever you want. 1 pile per day. 1 pile for the entire weekend. Whatever floats your boat. And hey, if you want to do 1 pile for general, 1 pile for loving relationships, and 1 for money and career. I'll read them all kind of as whatever comes up, so take the messages as you see fit. Pile 1, 2, and 3. Each pile will consist of 4 cards. And although I do try to do the center card as how you are right now, and then the left card as what you've taken from the weekend or last week and brought into this week, and then the third card as what it is you're taking into the weekend and into the following week, it does get changed up a bit. Card 4 will be a clarifier for how it is that you're showing up, or how you will end up evolving throughout the week, and what changes you may be making to yourself and to the things that you come in contact with. With that said, I hope you have picked your pile, because now we're moving on to pile 1. Card 1 for pile 1 seems like that one's been coming up a lot. Card 4 will remain veiled until I see fit during the reading, but I will not forget to flip it over. And I can never get everything centered exactly the way that I want it. We'll work it out. And with the 3 of Pentacles coming up as you for this week, it does look like you will be working as a part of a team. Even if it's not a clear-cut team where you know who is supposed to be doing what, and you're organized by an organization or by family group, anything like that, you may self-organize and decide that, well, this one knows what needs to be done, and these other people are willing to do what the other person says. So it could be as simple as that. If you're planning a gathering or trying to plan an event for this week or for the weekend, it looks like you will have plenty of help that you need. However, with the 3 of Pentacles, you do need to be aware of someone, maybe even yourself, taking too much control and deciding that the input of others around you does not matter. If you have chosen to work with these people and they are involved in parts of the project that you don't have eyes on, trust their input. If they're coming to you with a problem, they're coming to you with a problem because it's something that you don't see. If you saw what was going on, you wouldn't need them to tell you what was up. So keep that in mind. Your perception is not the only one that matters, and somebody else's perception may be able to save your ass or save a project that you don't even know is in danger. This could also go for if you're out in public with a child and you're not aware of what's going on necessarily. Somebody could be following you and you don't realize it. Somebody could be watching your kid a little bit too closely. And someone else may end up walking up to you and saying, hey, this is going on, you might want to keep an eye out. Do you want me to walk you to your car? Or do you want me to notify management of the store that you're in and have someone walk you to the car? You know, it might be something like that. It could be a work project, but that's the event that I saw that stood out to me. So this is the energy that you're bringing into the rest of the week. This is how you have set up how you've gotten to this place where you're working with other people, where you may need input from others or someone may need input from you. Do not be afraid to voice your opinion if you think somebody may benefit from it. With the Queen of Wands, you've definitely defined yourself as someone who doesn't have a problem focusing on what needs to be done. But your vision could be spanning the macro rather than the micro. And while you do need to keep in mind what's going on in the macro and the bigger picture of things, there are small details to work out. And that's probably why, if you're working on your project or if you're at work and involved with multiple people, multiple departments, it would be in your best interest to take this information somebody's handing you. Whatever it is that you started this week, you had an absolute mindset of, we will get this done, we will succeed with this, and there's no choice. So ensure to keep that passionate energy with you, but beware that you may be coming off as a little overbearing, a little bit too involved. Someone may be acting a little strange around you too, so, and they could just think that you're coming off a little bit too strong. So maybe pull it back a little bit, and ensure that you are willing to listen. Card 3. And this may be the problem. This may be the person who feels that you're coming on a little bit too strong. You have a creative block, and it might not necessarily be coming from you. It might not be a problem like you can't come up with an idea. You can't come up with a way to get something done. But it's other people throwing roadblocks in your way. But because you can't specialize in everything, you can't be everywhere at once, this is going to be very frustrating for you. And that good energy that you came in to the week with now is becoming frustration. Because there's something that's not done that you think should already be done. And there could be another reason that's coming up that you don't necessarily want to face because you put your faith in, because infidelity is a part of the Empress card in reverse. Maybe your partner is starting to involve themselves with something or someone else. They could also be dealing with a problem that, like I said before, that you don't see. However, if you think that somebody is focused on something that they shouldn't be, or that you need answers that they may be keeping secrets, confront them. You're still the Queen of Wands through this week. So take that energy and take that confidence and don't be afraid to confront people about, hey, what's going on with this? You don't have to be confrontational to bring up a problem. And if it's something that you're managing, that you have responsibility over, there's no problem with saying, hey, if there's something going wrong with this, or if there's an issue, I need to know about it so I can help you work through it. And this could translate from a work situation or to a private project or to a relationship. Any kind of familial relationship, from marriage to a child. So also, don't start just putting the blame on someone either. Have a conversation about it. Don't assume anything. Part of the Three of Pentacles is working off the information that other people are handing you. It's implementing a plan after a plan's already been set. It's building something with resources that have already been gathered. So don't neglect that part of any of the relationships that you happen to be involved in. And I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. And with the Knight of Cups. So someone's not happy with something, or they may not have something that they need. And that just reinforces everything that I just said. So check in with people that you feel are struggling right now. It could be something outside of your scope to fix, but again, the Empress came up in reverse, and the Empress in the upright is a nurturing figure. You may find that while you've been hyper-focused on the macro, the big picture, and everything that needed to be done, and breaking it into categories and finding out who can do what, and, and so on, that maybe everything's getting done, but something's been missed. Somebody still needs some extra resources to help them get their job done. They're either lacking materials or training, and that's what's causing the moodiness. Because this doesn't feel like this is you. This doesn't feel like this is coming from the Queen of Wands character. It's just like there's a problem and I don't know what it is, and that could end up making you agitated. And it still doesn't feel like there's any infidelity or any cheating going on. It feels like it is strictly a work problem that you're facing this week. And if you're unemployed or if you're out of work right now, still looking, it could be because of that. It's like, I put the applications in, I've been putting the work in to get a different job, and nothing is working out. And why is going to be a question that you have, because and I don't know if this is going to affect anything beyond if you're in the US, and which I am, which is why I say this. I don't know much about what's going on in other places because we have all this chaos going on in the US. If you're at a job or you're trying to get work, and like in the US, the ports just shut down on the eastern ports. So I don't know what kind of effect that's going to have for every place else, if it's going to increase or decrease the workforce, but I could see something where a supplier cuts out, or there's something wrong with transportation and logistics, and because of that, the workload on the warehouse slows down. And with that, they're not hiring any new people. And in fact, they just laid off a bunch of people. And normally this would be around the busy season whenever they're hiring all the temp workers for 3 months or so for around the holiday season. And that is, I'm trying to see if I'm going to get anything else that flies out. But it doesn't look like I am right now. So pile 1, that may be it for you right now. And please remember, I do dailies, weeklies, and monthlies. And just the random pick a card here and there, but I normally do a Wednesday check-in and a 72-hour for the weekend, so which is also a pick a card. So if you like these, please look for other pick a card readings on my channel. And other than that, I do the Zodiac dailies, weeklies, monthlies. Please like and subscribe if you like this content, and I am moving on to pile 2. Pile 2. Thank you for tuning in, and this is your first card for Wednesday. This is how you're showing it up. This is what you're bringing in from the previous week and the weekend, and this is where you're headed. And the tower shows up, everyone freaks out, so I'm just going to say that this just seems like any transformation that you're trying to get done is not going to work out, and it's not going to move as fast as you wanted it to. You could be planning a bunch of things to happen a certain way, and it just doesn't work out that way. This will cause you to personally transform somehow. If it's not within yourself, then it may be just other people tuning into you and finding out, oh, I didn't know they were capable of that. But with the energy from the previous week and the weekend, it looks like you came in refreshed this week. Like you were ready to get something done and everything was supposed to go because you were moving, you were getting things done, you were solving problems as they came at you, and anybody had a problem with you, you had an answer for them. With Temperance, you have been doing your best to remain balanced and even. You don't have a problem answering questions whenever someone doesn't have a problem coming to your face and asking them. You don't have a problem dealing with any problems as long as they are necessary problems. If people are going out of their way, however, if people are going out of their way to get in your way, that is going to be your problem. It's almost as though someone has been watching from the sidelines and they took their eye off of you for 1 minute. 1 minute. That's all it took. And now you're miles ahead of them, and they feel like they have to pull you back to their position in life. They have to slow you down because for some reason they feel like they're anchored to you and that they need to measure themselves by you. But the problem is they can't measure up to where you're at. You're on a totally different path than them, and that's why you are nowhere near where they were whenever they looked up and saw that you were gone. So, and this is how you're transforming throughout the week. You may end up finding out that as much as you've been trying to deal with this, as many problems as you've been meeting, one after the other, fix it, problem comes up, you fix it over and over again. Apparently, whenever this person took their eye off of you for that 1 minute, you realized exactly where everything was. You realized where all these problems came from. They got too busy and they stopped messing with you for 5 minutes, and whenever they were busy doing whatever it is that they were doing, maybe they even got put in jail. They either could have gone on vacation or been put in jail, which is one hell of a dichotomy. But anyway, they weren't hyper-focused on you, and for that brief amount of time, you were able to assess the situation for everything that it was. So the only thing that you've been doing, all these things that you've been solving, have been taking the knives out of your back that person put there. And you may not even know who this is. This could be someone that's just on the outskirts of your life that just as soon as their energy isn't there for 5 minutes. As soon as they're like, okay, well, that person is screwed, so I'm going to stop messing with them. You were doing things behind the scenes. You were setting things up. You were not trying to keep anything from anybody. You were just dealing with what it is that you need to deal with. And that is the power of moving in silence. If they don't know what you're doing, then they can't screw it up for you. And at this point, if you do keep any of these ideas, these pathways, training, anything that you keep, you're going to be able to use it as a tool to form your own ideas, to find your own pathways, to find your own way of getting things done, which is exactly what you've been doing so far this week. And in doing this, every time you find a new way or solve a problem, it's you taking one of these knives out of your back and using it as a tool to facilitate healing. And it's not even necessarily trauma healing, it's just taking the burden of somebody else's problems off of your back and using that energy, using that time, using those lessons for your betterment. Okay, pile 2, I do believe that's it for you as well. I'm going to move on to pile 3. Nothing is flying out, so remember this week, even if you are entering into some kind of disastrous things or people that you have to deal with, you can use those lessons to measure yourself, measure how much you've progressed as a person. You may have had a temper and now you've learned to manage it. They've shown you what it is that you can take and how much you can deal with, and at this point the only way you can go is up. And if that causes their house of cards to fall, then that's on them. Still don't allow these people to back you into a corner. That may have been a mistake that you made before, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a mistake that you make again. These people have shown you who they are and what they will do to you when you're at your lowest, and use that information. Not to hurt them, but to inform yourself. And now I am on to pile 3. Pile 3, this is for your Wednesday check-in. I don't know why I put yours down. I didn't do that for any of the other piles. But this is you right now, Wednesday, or whenever you find this. And someone may have thought that they were knocking you off of a high horse. And they weren't. They were presenting what was... I'm going to say this and it's going to sound kind of weird, but I'm going to say that the wands representing fire are going to represent the soul, okay? And normally it's passion, but right now we're going to say it's the soul. And these other people may have put you on a high horse just so they could knock you down. And their souls have been standing there watching you. They put you there to fail so they could knock you down, and in the effort of trying to discredit you, you are most likely going to end up discrediting them. Anything that you achieve from now on will be a private achievement, and no one else will get to know where it is that you got the money, the ability, the resources, because it's none of their business. They didn't hand it to you so they can kick rocks. Even though you may come off as having a lack of confidence, you may just be very unpopular and not care too much as to what other people have to say about you. Your own opinion matters to you more than Your own opinion matters more to you than the opinion of others, and that may make you very unpopular. You may have been a people pleaser, and now people are seeing you act like this, and they're not sure what's going on. They may just take it as a immediate, oh, well, you don't care what I think, so you must be the enemy. You must be doing something against me then. And that just drives me nuts, because it's like, what the hell? You're over there trying to get things done, but you're not doing it with, you're not seeking their approval for it, so now they have a problem with it. Like they don't see what your hands are doing, so you must be holding a knife behind your back. But this is the energy that you will have brought with you from the weekend and the previous week. And this is an argument. As much as you may feel like you may have felt that you needed to agree with people that were disagreeing with you, you've got your own ideas now. You have your own point of view, and somebody may be trying to make up with you. However, they want you to put down your idea. They want you to put down your opinion and take theirs. You have your opinion for a reason. This, most of the time, ends up being either a family dispute where you just don't see eye to eye. They think that you should be doing things one way and you're doing them another. And you have the receipts of why you shouldn't be doing it that way. You have reasons why you shouldn't be doing it that way. And honestly, whenever it comes to stuff like that, this is me, and this is how but I don't even know a lot of people, so, and I have reasons for that, but if you're not paying me to do what it is that I'm doing, or how to think it is the way that I'm thinking, then why do you feel that you have a right to order me to think and agree with you? Why do you want me to think like you? I have reasons to not think like you. I have reasons for not agreeing with you. If you don't want to see my side of it, then I don't care. I'm not paying you to think the way that I'm thinking, and you're not paying me to think the way that you're thinking. So stop acting like you are. And if they continue disagreeing like this and finding that you having your own opinion is actually an affront to them, it's like you're attacking them because you have the audacity to have your own opinion, then it's obviously not a relationship that's worth it to them to just slow down and consider the other opinion, and that maybe they don't have a right to have an opinion about what you're doing because it has nothing to do with them. They could also be going behind your back and finding out things about you or about things that you're doing and taking it out of context in an effort just to start an argument and say that you're wrong for doing this. And this is driving me a little nuts because every pile seems to want to be read a different way. And I just had 2 flyers come out for that, so maybe that's why every card wasn't turned over to begin with. This argument could be over. Could have been, because this seems like this is something that's in the past. And this is the position that this argument puts you in. So this could be over a relationship or a partnership, a connection that you have to something else. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It could easily be a job or a plan that you have to do things a certain way and they don't like it. So the other person is actually, like, one of these people is you, and the other person is actually the event or the job or the thing that you want to go do, the thing that you're planning on doing. So whatever it is that you're trying to connect yourself with, and you've made up your mind, that's what's going to happen, and you don't care about their opinion. And from that, you are going to end up harvesting something, but not yet. It is not time. It could just be because you're in your first 2 or 3 weeks of work and you got to wait to get your first paycheck. It could be because you got to, I don't know, if you're solidifying a relationship, you have to wait for your the contract to come in, or the marriage to go through and be filed, or something like that. So just be patient, keep working at things, and you will be able to get something out of this long term. And it's likely that these people down here are what are the ground that you are trying to break through in order to get this, but anyway, as exhausting as that is, they may also be sitting here believing that since you show that you have something, that you have enough to give them, and so they have the right to take whatever it is that they want from you. Oh, you have plenty, so we're just going to take this. This is what we see that you have, so you must be hiding something. You must be hiding what else it is that you've got. You must be lying about how much success that you're having. So I'm just going to go over here and just nip a little off the top and slide a little bit off the side. Put this in my pocket. Something like that. And it's not even a theft card. They could just totally believe that you do not deserve what it is that you have, for one reason or another. It could be because they've lost what they've got, or what they had, or what they have they realize is really nothing compared to what it is that they believe you do have. Yep, and there we go. So no matter what it seems like you do, doesn't matter how much work you put in, how much you put into a relationship or into work or anything, how much it is that you gain, how much it is that you give, it doesn't seem like it's ever enough or it ever makes a difference. Because other people, these people, are deciding that it doesn't matter. And whenever I looked at this card before, I always thought the Five of Swords. I always had the impression that this looked much more like a gladiator arena from ancient Rome than it did what it is. This is actually the ocean. They are on a beach. They are fighting on a beach. They are fighting in sand. So they're having a problem finding their footing in sand. You can't put the foundation of an idea on a shaky foundation. And this is where these other two people have put their ideas. That's where they have founded their ideas. They've dropped them, and it's on shaky soil. It's not going to take much to wash those ideas away. And that is actually the ocean behind them. And in the distance is land. It's islands, it's mountains. Those are long-held ideas that they're going to have to transition through a lot of therapy. A lot of therapy to find out why it is that they think the way that they do, and why it is that they are so stuck on their own ideas, even though they're not their ideas. If they were, they wouldn't be so quick to throw them away. And obviously they're not coming back for them, so they don't matter that much to them. They threw them away like it was trash. But in order to get to more stable ground, they're going to have to traverse the ocean or the lake or whatever large body of water that is. So they have work to go through, and they may actually be feeling washed up. Because those ideas those swords may not even belong to those people. They could have just washed up on the shore. And they decided to pick them up for a moment to battle, and whenever they got tired of the battle, they just dropped them and walked away, which is why they weren't too precious to them. They might not have even belonged to them, and that's why they have no problem walking away from them. So don't feel too much regret whenever someone decides to walk away from you, if this is you, or if this has already happened, because they have helped you set a boundary. They started building the wall, and it's not even a wall, it's a line in the sand. It's a line in the sand, and they decide to cross it, and if they're going to be bitter about that, about putting the work into doing that, and then being angry about where they put themselves, then that's up to them. This is where you're going to end up at the end of the week, and I was hoping that was going to be a more positive card, but you know what? I'm going to steal this one from Madam Adam. This is a dick measuring contest, and it's time for you to pull your dick out of it. That's it. There's a disagreement or a conflict that's just a round robin. It's just people going in circles, just whacking each other in the shoulder, and that's it. Do yourself a favor and do not continue to stay in the jerk circle. As much tension as this has brought into your life, if you step out of this, you may be very surprised about how easy things start to get for you whenever you're not being pulled in 20 different directions. But let's hope this is a good one, guys. You know, I hate this card passionately, but I am now going to say that it might be one of my favorites now. Might. This card, on the base meaning of it, as it says in reverse, someone is coming clean, rethinking the approach, deception, self-deceit, keeping secrets. So I'm I'm going to throw it out there that because we had the what was it, the Five of Swords? Yeah, because we had the Five of Swords over here, you changing who you are is not going to make this situation any easier, because you can't change who you are. You can just change who it is that you appear to be. The perception of others does not determine who you are, it determines who you are to them. And I think it's very important that you remember that. Everything that they know about you could be lies that somebody else told them. So it's interesting that there's two swords in the sand lying on top of the sand over here, and then there's two swords stuck in the ground over here. And it's not going to matter how much it is that you agree and decide to take up somebody else's sword, take up somebody else's reason for fighting, or try to be the knight in shining armor for somebody else. It's not going to matter, because a knight picks up somebody else's sword in order to fight their war for them. It may be better off right now if you take what you can from the relationship and understand that while some of these tools, some of these ideas are good, they can still hurt you. They can still backfire. They can still harm you in a way that you do not expect. And if you're taught to handle them wrong, like this guy is doing right here in the Seven of Swords, you will hurt yourself. And these are things that you could have tried to handle the way that you're supposed to, because he's holding the swords correctly in this card, in the Five of Swords. And in the Seven of Swords, he's holding them by the blade. So you're allowing these ideas to hurt you. You're allowing these tools that were given to you to handle a situation, you're allowing them to hurt you. And you're still trying to move forward with blood running down your hands. And if you're keeping secrets, in a totally different situation, if you're keeping secrets from somebody, that's going to do nothing but harm you. You may be trying to keep these secrets to help you out of a situation, but it's not going to work. It's going to be worse off for you than you anticipated. Now, on the flip side of this could be one of these guys over here who was walking away, but now they're trying to walk back because they found regret in walking away from you or a situation. And if they are walking back towards you, know that even though they know that these ideas and their ideas, they're not even feelings, there's no intuition behind it. It's just an idea that somebody else has put in their head that they're allowing to hurt them, to color their opinion. And they don't even want to look at what's hurting them. They don't. They're willing to carry it, but they don't. They're willing to carry it, but they don't want to look at it and actually see what it is that they're doing to themselves by doing that. This guy over here with the Seven of Swords is too busy looking behind and trying to figure out what it is that he could use or what he left behind. And he's too busy looking at what he left behind and what he's walking away from to realize that what he's taking with him is doing nothing but hurting him. So, pile 3, ensure that you are not that person. Or if you are, realize it now. Realize it now before it does even more damage to you and ends up causing you to damage somebody else. And considering that those are his hands that he's carrying the swords by the blade with, somebody else is going to have to fix this problem whenever you realize it. Whenever you finally drop those swords, when you finally drop those ideals, somebody else is going to have to patch you up. So keep that in mind. But pile 3, that is going to be it for your Wednesday check-in. I'm going to check it out of here, and I'm going to leave you with well, just a reminder that I do dailies, weeklies, and monthlies here, and hopefully I get everything up on time, but if not, sorry. We're trying to find a schedule that works, but I have to work around things too. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you later.